Here is another question from section C, that is complete the following reactions. We have the reactions given here and we have to just complete them. In this case we have 3 parts, it means 3 reactions we have to complete. Let us complete them one by one. First we have the reaction in which benzaldehyde we have. It is treated with sodium cyanide and HCl. And what will happen? In this case you should write here the complete reaction in this manner. Benzaldehyde you have taken, reagent you have added, and ultimately you are obtaining cyanohydrin. So basically this is the main thing that you have to write during the solution of this question. So this will give you 1 mark. After this there is the second part of this question, that is the reaction of C6H5CH2 whole twice CD plus 2 CH3COCl. It means this is the reaction of organometallic compound with acetyl chloride. And what will happen in this case? In this case there is the formation of ketone. You can clearly see here there is the formation of a ketone and CdCl2. And if you complete this reaction in this manner, you will get 1 mark for this also. So till now we have obtained 2 marks. Third part is also here, in which you are treating 2-methyl propanoic acid with bromine in the presence of red phosphorus followed by water. What will happen? You can represent this reaction in this manner. You have this 2-methyl propanoic acid, it is treated with bromine in the presence of red phosphorus and further followed by H2O. Then you will obtain carboxylic acid in which bromine group is present as the substituent. What would be the name of this compound? The name of this compound would be 2-bromo 2-methyl propanoic acid, that you will obtain. And if you complete this reaction, then definitely you will get 1 mark for this part also. After this, there is the internal choice in this question, and it means you can solve the second part also. So here the second internal choice is given, write chemical equation for the following reactions. In this case you have to write the reactions for these processes. Let's take these processes one by one. The first one is propanone is treated with dilute barium hydroxide. What will happen here? If you treat propanone with dilute barium hydroxide, in that case in the first step ketol would be formed, and after that there would be the removal of water molecule on heating, and ultimately it results in the formation of aldol condensation product, that is 4-methyl pent 3-ane-2-one. This would be the product that you will obtain. You know that it is aldol condensation reaction, and in this way you will get 1 mark for this part. After that its second part is also there. Acetophenone is treated with zinc amalgam and concentrated HCl. What will happen? If you treat acetophenone with zinc amalgam followed by concentrated HCl, then you will obtain ethyl benzene. The simple reduction process it is, and commonly it is known as Clemmensen reduction, and if you know the reaction then you can easily write it. After writing it you will obtain 1 mark for this part also. A third part of this question is left. Let's check. Benzoyl chloride is hydrogenated in the presence of palladium supported over barium sulfate. It means this is again a type of reduction, and in this case you will obtain benzaldehyde. It is treated with hydrogen, palladium and barium sulfate, then you are getting benzaldehyde. Now if you write this way you will get 1 mark for this part also. So till now we have obtained total 3 marks for this question. And after this here is the turn for next question, and what's that question? That is question number 24. Let's move towards that. Now let's take last question of the section C, and here's the question number 24. Differentiate between amylose and amylopectin, then peptide linkage and glycosidic linkage, further fibrous proteins and globular protein. It means 3 parts are there, and if you attempt all of them you will get 3 marks. This is again internal choice of question number 24. After that there is another question, that is also question number 24, that you can choose to attempt. But let's first check about this first question. We have to differentiate amylose and amylopectin. You can differentiate them by writing simple one difference between these two, and you can simply represent it with the help of this tabular form. In case of amylose, there is C1 to C4 glycosidic linkage in this case, while in case of amylopectin, C1 C4 glycosidic linkage is there, but branching occurs by C1 to C6 glycosidic linkage. You should know that both amylose and amylopectin are the components of starch. Further, you can also write one more difference, that water soluble component of starch is amylose, or the water insoluble component of starch is amylopectin. This can also be the difference. On writing only one difference, you will get 1 mark. So, I have just given you the two differences. You can write any of them to get full 1 mark. After that, the second part, peptide linkage and glycosidic linkage. You can differentiate in the form of a table. Further, peptide linkage is CONH type of linkage. In this case, because the carboxylic group of one amino acid and amino group of other amino acid is joined there, and ultimately this CONH type of linkage is there, which exists in proteins formed by condensation of amino acid. If I talk about glycosidic linkage, it is oxide linkage, and it occurs in case of disaccharide, where two monosaccharide units are joined through oxygen atom, and that linkage is glycosidic linkage. And if you write this, you will get 1 mark for this part also. After that, third part of this question is, you have to differentiate fibrous proteins and globular protein. So, you can differentiate these two by writing any one of the difference. First is, polypeptide chains run parallel to give fiber like structure. That is the characteristic of fibrous protein. And if I talk about globular protein, polypeptide chains coil around to give spherical shape, and that results in the formation of globular protein. You can write this one difference. Otherwise, you can also write, generally fibrous proteins are insoluble in water, and the example is also given, keratin, myosin, etc. While in case of globular protein, you can say it is soluble in water generally, and the example is insulin, albumin, etc. So, on writing one of the difference, you will get 1 mark. Now, after this, it is a turn to check the next choice of this question, and that is given here. Write chemical reactions to show that open structure of D-glucose contains the following. One is straight chain, then 5 alcohol groups, and third one is aldehyde as carbonyl group. In this particular question, you have to give the reactions to represent these features of D-glucose. Let us provide the reactions one by one. First is, you have to prove that it contains straight chain. For that, you just treat D-glucose in the presence of HI, and ultimately you will get hexane. So, the reaction you have to mention, you have this D-glucose treated with HI in the presence of heat, and you are getting normal hexane. It represents that it contains a straight chain. And if you give this reaction, you can easily get 1 mark. After that, the second thing, 5 alcoholic groups. We know that in case of D-glucose, there are 5 alcoholic groups. You have to prove with the help of the chemical reaction. In that case, you can give the reaction in which D-glucose is reacting with acetic anhydride, and all the alcoholic groups get changed into acetate group, and ultimately you are getting glucose pentaacetate, 4 acetyl groups here and 1 here. Pentaacetate you are obtaining, it means it contains 5 alcoholic group, 4 here and 1 here. And if you represent this with the help of this reaction, then you will get 1 mark. After that, third part is left. So, you have to show that D-glucose contain aldehyde as carbonyl group, not the ketone. What you will represent here? In this case, you can give the reaction in which it is reacting with bromine water. We know that bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. In the presence of bromine water, only this aldehyde group is oxidized, and you are obtaining gluconic acid. It is representing that your D-glucose contain aldehyde group, that is basically the carbonyl group, and this will give you 1 mark. And now, if you attempt in this manner, you will obtain Total 3 marks for this question number 24. Now after this, it is the turn to move towards the next section of your paper. What's that? That is section D. So let us move towards that.